Alright, welcome back. You guys like that intro? That's for our private members. I've been talking about this crypto since 2019. It's outperformed every crypto out there, but you've never heard of it because, well, because it's legit. Or I'm not going to say it's legit. I'm just going to say it's being gate-kept. And there's a reason for that, right? Because let's just say the toxic maximalists are scared it's going to take some market share from Bitcoin, and so are all of the other cryptos. So you're not going to find it on CoinMarketCap, that's for sure. It's gone up like 400x. That's 4,000%, something like that, from the initial start. So yeah, I'm totally excited about it. I think it's going to outperform. It's the trend. If you put let's just say this. I think it's still just the beginning. Nobody even knows about it. And Bitcoin went from like what? I'm not sure where it started, a few pennies, to $50,000. Well, this thing's designed, and the market, its target market, right, is actually larger than what Bitcoin is Well, I wouldn't say it's larger, but it's equivalent. It's the same size. And no other crypto does it. No other cryptos like it. Actually, this crypto might have started off the bull market and for cryptos in 2020. Although I can't say that because, of course, what happened in 2020, a lot of stimulus happened all around the world from all central banks. Anyways, it's for the private members. Go to my website. Once you purchase the fee, there's a trading academy and some info on mining stocks, and then the next day or 2 days later, whenever I get around to it, you'll get an invite email, and then there's instructions, and you have to follow those instructions to get into the private group. If you can't follow the instructions, then you shouldn't even be in the private group anyways, because you shouldn't be investing. Yeah, so a lot of people are like, "Oh, you missed out on Bitcoin gains and blah blah." No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Matter of fact, I know one person has become a millionaire. I helped them become a millionaire already. So, some people privately message me, and yeah, I mean, some people listen to me. A lot of people don't. A lot of people in the private group don't even listen to me. Okay, but for the few that do, good for you. We're killing it. You can't beat 400x, and I'm excited. I think we have in the next couple of years. We've got a long way to go in the possible upward direction from the way things are looking. So I'm happy. It's good. First of all, this is not financial advice. Consult your licensed financial advisor before doing anything. Currencies, cryptocurrencies, bonds, equities, everything is very volatile, very risky because this is a mania. We are in I believe, I could be wrong. This could be all just normal, but I think we're in a possible huge bubble. Everything is. And I don't know. Consult your licensed financial advisor before doing anything. And, do not invest anything you're not willing to lose completely 100% and lose sleep over. Because if you do lose sleep over it, you're going to make all the wrong moves and sell at tops. Or no, you're going to buy at tops and sell at lows when emotions are involved, right? So there's so much to talk about. Hopefully my volume is normal. If it's not, that would be very unfortunate. Okay, where to start? I'm not even sure. Let's start at Bitcoin for once. Yeah, so that price action in the beginning of this video was that crypto, by the way. I made that with the music and everything. It looks cool. It's very cool. Bitcoin on the left, ETH on the right. ETH does have a 9 sell signal on the weekly. Worked out very well for the previous all-time high. Bitcoin had 2 9 sells like in the past few weeks. Can it just keep going higher? I think later in this year, yeah, it'll probably make even higher highs, like 100K in sight. But for the short term to intermediate, a pullback or a correction would make sense. This is very parabolic. Also, transaction fees are just unreal, which is not good. It's a huge sign of weakness when the price gets this high and there's a lot of people on the network. This is for people who know what I'm talking about, right? If you're not on some centralized exchange, if you're outside of it, then you're just paying like I don't know, like 10% fees. That's insane. I mean, so that bogs down the. So you look at the hash rate and all that, and then correction. But so Powell, Fed chairman, came out today and he wasn't very dovish. He was actually like, we need to do stimulus, but slowly roll it out, because they're seeing the madness in the markets. And they're like, oh my God, everyone kind of knows what's going on now. So the market might not like that and might correct. But then again, I feel like this administration's, I feel like they're so afraid of popping their bubble at this point that they just might roll out. And they're talking about 3,000 stimulus. So, and on top of that, they're going to do more QE. And then on top of that, infrastructure spending. And then after that, they're probably going to talk about UBI. And it's just going to keep the party going. And you guys have to understand how this works. As time goes on, everything has to keep getting bigger. The bailouts, the QE, the stimulus, the relief checks. I mean, the public's going to get the least of it, but it's just endless money printing, and it's just going to continue, because as soon as they stop, the music stops. And not everyone's going to find a chair. Most people won't. So if they do that, yeah, I mean, metals, commodities, cryptos, everything, it's just going to keep going higher and higher, and no one's going to believe it. It's going to be insane. And I have a feeling they want some sort of back to normal. They want people happy this summer, because I don't want to get into it. It's just the public is pretty, I feel like, angry, and they're struggling very hard economically. So they don't want to see a repeat of last spring and summer. So they might pull back on the lockdowns and all that. They're going to pull back. They're not going to make it go away, because it gives them infinite powers, right? And then people are going to go out and travel, and everyone's going to talk about a big booming recovery, blah, 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 all summer. And you're just going to see the market possibly melt up and everything just explode to the moon. And it's not, none of it's going to make sense. At the same time, that's for the rest of the year. Like, I'm talking maybe midsummer into like fall. But in the short term, are we still going to get a direction that I've been talking about? And I've sort of been walking back on that in on my last video. Well, I'm looking at the rates, and the rates they did pop. And they got about to 1.16% on the 10-year yield. But now it looks like they might... They're doing yield curve control, and they're going to try to push it down. And the way they do it is by printing massive amounts of money, and they're going to buy bonds. The Fed is. And that's how they control the yields. So that might buy another, like, 6 months or something. I don't know. A year? I don't know. This is a weekly chart. The blue line is the yield. The orange is gold, and the green is S&P 500. So if they could push yields back down, the market may just go higher, and then gold will break out of this giant bull flag. It's very difficult right now. At the same time, I mean, this is the trap that they've put themselves into, right? Because the dollar is sensing all of the stimulus and QE coming to keep the market at least artificially elevated, if not going higher, and then the dollar is weakening more. I told you guys, everyone last week was like, oh, the dollar is about to strengthen and take off. And I'm like, what are they talking about? It's hanging on by a thread still. It needs to sustain momentum to the upside. The only way it's going to go back up to like the 92 to 93, 4 handle is if the market gets at least a 10 to 15, 20% correction. Which is still not off the table. I feel like they haven't made up their minds on what on what they're gonna do because they probably don't know what to do either. Because it's a situation. It's a difficult situation to be in. Because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I think they're so afraid that they can't stop a correction, like a correction in the markets, that they might not even let it correct. And that's what pretty much happened with the Venezuelan stock market, right? So, economic data came out this week. Today. The CPI came out, right? And that's the core price. It's the inflation index. Consumer price index. Core. I was looking at this. Core CPI. Anyways, so core CPI is down. And I'm arguing with, like, some Wall Street guy. And he's telling me pretty much the Keynesian argument that, yeah, but it's all about velocity of money and the lending of money. Yeah, I get that. But that's velocity for the public, for the plebs. They can't go and get loans to buy homes, right? Although home prices have been going up. Not in the cities, but outside. For obvious reasons. Listen. The velocity of money in the economy is not turning as much, yes, until these stimmy checks hit again, and then the velocity is going to pick up and prices are going to pick up again. Inflation doesn't always go into food where everyone really sees it and feels it. Matter of fact, they don't want that to happen. It goes into assets. It goes into Bitcoin. It goes into lumber. Lumber is up 115%. Soybeans are up 59%. Silver is up 55%. Copper 46%. Corn 45%. Cotton 30%. Coffee 25%. S&P 500 is, I mean, it's up way more than 20. I just found this on Twitter. It's up more than 20%. This year, I mean, from the March low, it's up like. Let's take a look at the S&P. Actually, wait. Let's just look at the Nasdaq, because I really want to show you how ridiculous this is. So from the March low, the Nasdaq is up. This is an index, not a stock. An index. Index has all the stocks in it. It's up 113%. Okay? There's no inflation. Yes, there is. It's here. The inflation's going to the... This is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, even with stimmy checks going out to the public and the endless money printing. Because they get the inflation first, and then it trickles down or whatever to the rest of you plebs. All right, it's not, but it also runs in other places. Everyone went out and did home improvement. Well, that made home improvement prices of toilets and sinks and lumber and nails and things like that, and electric tools go up. And I see it myself, because I've been out shopping for stuff like that myself. Oil, it's WTI has been taking off, right? Where is it at today? It keeps climbing higher. I was hoping for a correction. For my last video, but no, it just keeps running. It just stopped for like what, like a week, and just ran up for 2 more weeks now. I mean, it hit $60 almost. It's at 58 for a barrel of crude. That's where the inflation is. It's where it goes at first, and then it'll go everywhere else. So if oil prices are going up, what happens to the cost of transporting food? And what goes, and you know, all the pesticides are petroleum based. Everything is, basically, in our world, like 90% of everything. Just look around you in your home. Everything was either made out of oil, out of polymers, right? Or it was delivered through semi-trucks and trains, and the electricity to heat the warehouses, everything made out of oil. So that's going to cause inflation. Wheat, even wheat's up 16%. I have an index I'm looking at. It's for long-term hold. Looks very good for the next 10 years. And it's agriculture-based. Yeah, so, but the CPI doesn't reflect any of it. How so? Because they fudge the numbers, guys. They do. And then they'll adjust it when no one's looking, like 2 months from now. Elon Musk is pretty much a pump and dumper. I think, okay, so with the Elon, listen. I think he's distracting everyone into crypto, but he's also buying it himself, and he likes it. But it's in the alerts room, or did I post it? He's definitely buying up metals now because he needs it for his cars. And if he's like doing that, the other corporations are going to FOMO as well because they don't want to be left behind. Because they don't want to buy silver later when the price is even higher for their electronics, like Apple, right? And all the server farms they need for cloud storage, for, you know, Google Cloud and all that. Yeah, they're going to need all the metals. For the servers, this and that. So is corn, you know, all the cryptos, right? To run all this. And so are all renewables. Solar panels. Takes like an ounce for like a 4x4 of solar. So, and not just that, they want to do EVs, right, for the future, which is unsustainable, but let them do it. I mean, it's going to make metals go up, and we're going to benefit. We're the ones buying the shovels, guys. All the normies are going into the EVs and this and that, all that hype. And, you know, robotics eventually, AI, cloud, this and that, and smart cities. They're going into all that. Well, we are buying the shovels. So there's a story, right? The people who got the richest during the gold boom, the gold rush, when everyone ran to the west, like San Francisco and all that, to mine for gold, the people who sold shovels made the most money. Well, okay, everyone's running into all of that, you know, what I just talked about, 5G towers, this and that. Those take endless servers and modems and all kinds of antennas and metals. Listen, all of that takes rare earth minerals. And when they mine for rare earth minerals, they don't mine for just one. They're called polyprecious metal mines. You get silver, you get uranium, not uranium, but you get rhodium, and you get copper, nickel, and this and that, right? At the same time. So when they're mining for copper, they also pull out silver. And I have researched many of those mining stocks. So they need these rare earth metals, which takes what? Oil. Oil to mine. And it's going to make the prices go up. And if they need it to build out all this infrastructure that they want to do, the new Green Deal, whatever, infrastructure, in renewables and EVs and 5G, smart cities, cloud storage, just all this crap. 5G. I'm missing like a couple other things. Like, what else are they talking about? Oh, robots. They're going to need the metals. And what do you think's going to happen to these mining stocks who provide all these minerals? Well, they're providing the shovels, and it's going to go up. And then on top of that, they're printing endless money, and and they're monetary metals on top of that, meaning it preserves your wealth. And actually, not just that, it'll go up, and you'll make a profit as well. Like when Weimar Germany hyperinflated, like we are right now. In the end, I mean, a coin bought you a house. And if you're in the mining stocks, it's like 10x leverage on top of the metal itself. Some are even more. By the way, I have a couple of my mining stocks went up today like insane, like 30%. So that's one day. Throw a call option on it, that's like 300x. All right. Actually, no, it's more. It's like 3,000. Well, it depends how much leverage you use. All right, anyways, don't do that if you don't have like 10 years experience. You don't understand. With the volatility options, if there's a lot of volatility until the expiration date, you're still going to like get chopped up and lose money because time won't be on your side. 116-year-old had the coof and she's fine. Oh man, I really hope they end up putting like 4 masks, on people. I just want the clown world to get so bad that people just go, enough. And it's funny. It's hilarious because I like to see normies suffer as much as the elites because you know what? I mean, if you kind of earned it. If you go along with it, you earned it. All right. By the way, the renewables thing, like I said, they've been doing it in Europe, and on a small scale, like if you go buy a house in the middle of nowhere and you get like a huge setup of solar, that'll work for you. But to like power a country, that's a whole different. It doesn't scale up. That's what I'm trying to say. It's good for individuals, for like homesteading, but not for powering a fleet of EVs and whatnot, in my opinion. Could be wrong. I mean, technological advancements could go ahead. By the way, there is other technological advancements that are way better than what they're doing right now, but they're not rolling that out. That's what I'm looking for in the next 20 years. But, they're being gate-kept. Like that crypto that I was talking about, it's being gate-kept by people who are profiting right now. Well, same with other renewables. 85% of silver in London already held by ETFs. 85%. So the ETFs have all the physical. So what that means is, can a squeeze happen? I believe so. Not just that. There's another ETF that just bought 500 million ounces. That means you can't even find coins right now. There's a shortage on the physical side of things. So the squeeze is still on. They just smashed it for a day. And what did I tell you in my last video? I think they might have smashed it so they could accumulate themselves because they really can't hold back the floodgates. And that's still a very possibility. Matter of fact, I think so. I'll get to the charts because I see something in the charts. A big something in the charts. They're talking about 3,000 stimulus checks. That's nuts. By the way, this is my newsroom. Links below. Link for my website below. You don't want to miss this. Listen, if the markets melt up and we don't see any significant correction, like even if the market sells off 5 to 10%, that doesn't mean that metals are going to sell off. They might actually go up in the face of it. And then they might keep running into spring and summer. And you might see gold run to like, who knows, 2,500, 3,000. And silver might actually run to like $100, 150 or something. And then you literally miss the train. I mean, You know, these mining stocks, I showed you in my last video how they are the most undervalued asset in the world, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But when they catch up to the price, to the current price today, and then if metals go even higher, like, you're just going to see like 100% moves like daily. Like, you're going to see Dogecoin type of moves in the miners. And then my one crypto that I'm like super bullish about, I don't know. It's like possibly a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, it already is. It went up like 400x. Anyways. And I know I'm not trying to get you guys too excited to, you know, join the group, this and that. This is what I believe. And I could be wrong. We might be on the cusp of a giant correction crash. And that would suck. I mean, I'm still hedged, right? So I will make it through. But if you have a margin account, I don't know. I feel like you just always have to have some sort of hedge, and then as it falls, you know, you quickly have to address that, right? So you don't blow up your account. And if you don't have, like, seriously, like 7-8 years of experience in investing and trading, do not have a margin account at this point. Yeah, so Bitcoin did a pretty much 22% move. Actually more, like a 24-5% move in one day, like yesterday. Just wild. Oh, and by the way, in the private group, I picked a weed stock. It went up 75% today. That's what it closed at. 70 in one day. Or in 1 week. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I bought it 2 weeks ago. That's pretty epic. Because I knew these degenerates were gonna go into it. I just knew it. I'm like, they all play video games. They got bored of video games and smoking, so they moved on to trading with their stimmy checks. And I'm like, listen, guys, they're all gonna start pumping weed stocks. So I'm like, let's look at some of them, and one of them went up that much. The other one went up like 60%, something like that. So it's good stuff. I mean, this is wealth transfer material. What else? I don't know. Listen, I think things are really heating up in the Pacific, and they're going to continue to as the next superpower. You know how one superpower is rising, the other one is losing its superiority. It's all about the seas. Who controls the oceans around the world? Once they start get pushed out of oceans, oceanic regions, that's how you know there's a new rising power. And same with the British, right? And you know, the sandbox, gotta keep your eyes on that. It's heating up. It's just not in the news. I mean, it's basically a proxy. So yeah, they're gonna roll out stuff like this. That's why in the summer I think things are gonna just seem like everything's gonna go back to normal, and just watch the normies all go traveling and whatnot. So I don't know if CNBC was trolling millennials, but listen, guys, if you live in a closet and you go to work 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, and sit in a cubicle, and then you get like 2 days of freedom to go and essentially drink and numb yourself and do degeneracy. Listen, I've been there. I've done it. It was fun for me. I never really actually had like a corporate job. Sitting in a cubicle shuffling paperwork, because it's just not for me. I'm not the type. But I always tried doing entrepreneurial things, and I've had previous businesses that most failed. A couple succeeded for a little bit and then failed. But okay, this is what everyone's afraid of. These are the how would I say, the camps, in my opinion. This is not life. And then, they wake up at 35 and they're like, oh my god, I'm too old to have a family, I'm washed up. And it's sad. And it's sad. And I know so many people fell into this. And you're just a rat in a wheel, in my opinion. You go to your boomer boss and you hate your life and you're constantly in debt, and it's no way to live. I know they, TV shows and movies make it seem awesome and cool and fun. It is if you how can I say this? It maybe in your early 20s, but then it gets old. And not just that, in today's culture, it's not the same. It's not fun. I don't think it can be fun. Back in the day, it was fun when culture was different, but, when everyone was laid back. So, here's another thing. With Musk buying corn, he only threw like $1 million or something or not $1 million, $1 billion something at it. That's nothing for him. That's nothing. He himself is worth somewhere around 60 or 80 billion. I don't even know. But if corporations all do throw money into crypto, yeah, for the short and intermediate, it's actually very bullish. It can send it to the moon. For the long term, is it bullish? Because it's sort of tied to the system, right? And if there's ever a major correction, I mean, even the Venezuelan stock market, it might have gone to the moon, but once inflation really picks up and destroys the economy, I mean, it'll one day fall. And then crypto would no longer be like a hedge, because all these major corporations and companies will sell it to save themselves, and it would crash with it. Would it rebound? I don't know. I mean, this is like probably a few years into the future. Another thing is MasterCard, Visa, and all these credit card companies are now like adopting it. Which, again, I told you guys, the reason they let cryptos be, the private ones, the original ones, is so people become accustomed to it, and then they're going to roll out their Fed coins, right? But think about it. These credit card companies, when you load it up, your credit card with crypto, the problem with that is when you go and you spend it for real life things in the world, then the credit card company, it doesn't just like buy it back from you. It sells it into the market, which actually pushes down the price. So everyone wanted Bitcoin to be a currency. Well, now it's going to be treated kind of like one, and that's not really good for the price. You want it to be a store of value, in my opinion. Could be wrong. Okay, so another thing is, now that these big companies and credit card companies, they're all adopting it, now it is too big to ban. And they always come out with like threats of banning it, this and that. I think at this point they're just that. They're just trying to cool down the excitement, maybe. Because everyone in crypto makes fun of the central bankers, and they're worried about it, and maybe they can't put the genie back in the bottle, kind of like the internet. So I don't know. I don't think they could, if they went to try to ban it. I mean, there'd be too much of a backlash, and now it's also possibly credit card companies and corporations, right? And they're the ones, holding the powers. The thing about the windmills, I'm not really against windmills. They do cost a fortune to replace the ball bearings in them, and you got to do it like every few years, and it's not really cost effective. But I do also feel like it ruins the skyline, and it kills the birds, guys. So you're helping the planet. Not are you? That's really all I have to say about that. If it was cost effective, every private company would have one, but it's not. You get tax rebates, and you get funding from the state to put them up. It's the only way it's worth doing, because it's not cost effective. All right, let's look at a few more things. Tyler Durden, what do we have? So yeah, there is a new commodity super cycle. This comes like it's ebb and flow. This is when your Elliott wave theory actually comes in. I wouldn't use anything from like maybe on the monthly time frame Elliott waves sort of work, but anything shorter, I ignore it. But we're going into another 12-year upcycle. So yeah, super excited, super pumped. It's just started. We're at the year 1. So let me read this. It is generally agreed that over the past 100 years there were 4 commodity supercycles, and that the last one started in 1996. We believe that the last supercycle peaked in 2008 after 12 years of expansion, bottomed in 2020 after 12-year contraction, and that we likely entered an upswing phase of a new commodity supercycle. Yes. I've been talking about that for years. That's why I got into yeah, here's the MasterCard joins Visa, PayPal on the crypto payments bandwagon. This is a list of the most shorted stocks. It's for private members. Yeah, so today was a big day. Stoner stocks soar, Tesla tumbles, dollar dumps, and gold jumps. Yeah, everyone saw their portfolio go up today. It was nice. By over 10% at least. Mine went up a lot because I'm overweighted in a few things. There's this one mining stock. It's below $1, but I think it like if they could just get approved, it'd be like in the coming years it'd be hundreds of dollars a share with the current float, in my opinion, and that's for private members, and that would be game changer. I'm also coming out with a silver mining stock spreadsheet for private members this week. I'm going to try to get that done tonight. How's GME doing? Not good. What else can we look at? I'm sure Platinum's taken. Let's take a look at Tesla, see how it dumped. So I had a 9 sell on the daily like a few weeks back. Or no, it was a 13 sell. Very strong sell signal. And if you put a short on there and you just held till now, you know, you could either take profits or see if this has a deeper correction. At least hit the 100-day moving average. But the 200-day moving average, I think, is in sight. It should be around like $490, $500. Right now it's at 800 on Tesla, but I don't know, guys. Tesla's like one of those it's super risky to short. I mean, we've seen what's happened in the past. They will short squeeze the shorts. and you could lose infinite money technically. Not really, but you know, you could definitely blow up your account. No money. That's why it's super risky to outright short and naked short anything. All right. What am I looking at? Let's look at the FANG index. Where's my video at? It's at 45 minutes. Here's the daily. I mean, it's super overextended. It's on a 7 count, the NASDAQ. 7 count, the FANG index. So maybe by the end of this week we get some sort of pullback or correction, but I don't know. If they announce stimulus, then no. Let's take a look at a 3-day. 3 days, an 8 count in NASDAQ. Same with the FANG probably, because they go in line. They're very insane. Let's take a look at the weekly. That's what I'm really interested in. The last night sell, I mean, gave you 1 week of downside and then just went even higher. And I put on a bunch of call options for hedging my account. It sucks because they're going to expire worthless again. Unless we get a correction soon, but it's unbelievable. The market will stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. But it doesn't matter because my mining stocks are going up, so it's making up for that, right? Like, I don't put on large positions when I hedge in my account. And that's my strategy. But technically, if you want to look at you could literally say this is fundamentals. Well, they're just going to keep printing, and we've got a bunch of stimulus still coming. We've got a bunch of QE and infrastructure spending coming, so it's just going to push it higher, and we're not going to see any significant correction for months maybe, or the rest of this year. Someone could make a good argument for that, and I'm starting to take that into consideration where that might be the most likely outcome. I don't right now. I really don't know, guys, when this thing's gonna correct. It either corrects short term, like in the coming few weeks, or it's just melt up. I mean, we could look at a monthly. I mean, the fact that this candle went up, superseded, went higher than the last 9 count on the monthly, means we might get another 9 months of upside on the monthly. I didn't think that is possible, but if you guys haven't noticed, we don't live in a normal world anymore. So if I zoom out, you guys can see, I mean, this is a bit ridiculous. But you know what? My next video will take a look at the Venezuelan stock market. Actually, you know what? Let me try to find it. And then we'll end it here. Smash some likes. Leave anything, not anything. Just leave something in the comments section, and I'll respond, or I will ban you. And then what else? Yeah, go to my website if you're interested in the private group. Go to the free newsroom. I deleted the last one, so there's a new one. There used to be like 1,000 some people in there. I just wanted a clean house, and you know, change things up. There's a new option where people could comment on the things I post in the newsroom. It's kind of cool. And then there's a free chat group where you guys could just BS and talk. A lot of people don't talk in there. I don't know why. Alright, here we go. It's a daily? This is hilarious. Look at this. Here's the Venezuelan stock market. Huge rally pump in like 2018, then it crashed. And now it's, look at that. So is this what's just, this is the Caracas Stock Exchange. Is this what we have to look forward to? I guess. I mean, if stock market does this, then metals and mining stocks and Bitcoin and the rest of them, cryptos and commodities, are just going to go to this stratosphere, or not past the stratosphere, to like another galaxy. By the way, if you think the people who held stocks in their stock market made a ton of money, they didn't, because if you adjust it to inflation, when they sell them, not only are they going to be in a higher tax bracket, but those gains, once you adjust it for inflation, you still lost money, unless you were probably in metals, right? And that's what most Wall Street people and in general just do not, who are in finance, just do not understand for some reason. It's very simple to understand. All right, guys. Till next time. Wait, hold on.